So here we are again, and welcome to the fourth limb of yoga, which is pranayama. Pranayama, prana is vital energy, chi, intelligence, and yama is extension. Therefore, it is the extended intake of vital energy into our body. We come into life on a breath, we leave life on a breath. Life is our existence. As I said in the last lesson, the mind and the emotions follow the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And the longer and deeper the breath, the more calm the mind and emotions become. A lot of people say to me, breathing's natural. Why do we have to do breath extension? Okay. What we're not understanding again is that we're living in lives of tension in the fast, modern-paced world. And while we're holding that tension, our breath has become incorrect. It is more upper chest and short breathing, okay, which is not natural. It's not going the whole way through the physical body and to the chakras. So it is practicing breath extension to bring the breathing back to normal, reminding the subconscious of how it should be breathing for brilliant health, mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you think of an angry man, what is he doing? He's got short breath. If you think of a baby sleeping or a child, they're lying there calmly, their little bellies rising and falling with each and every breath, and they are calm and serene. So this is the beautiful thing, because I always say to people, everyone's rushing around looking for medicine to help their stress, looking for whatever they can get to buy to help their stress levels and everything else. And at the end of the day, it's all around us, free to everyone, given by the Creator. We just have to know how to use it. And that's the steps I'd like to take you through. Remember, this is a very short thing that I do on my teacher's training. I'm giving as much information as I can, but it will help you with that. And as I said, I'm going to be teaching the original pranayama that I was taught on teacher's training, which came from the ancient secret and science of the mind. So let's have a look at breath extension. If we can master the breath, then mastery of the mind is in reach. And that is because it's following the rate and rhythm of the breath. The more calm and steady the mind is, the more we can become aware of our thoughts and feelings and work with them. And that's why it is essential. A lot of these techniques that I'm giving you are free for everyone. You just need to know how to use them and what to do with it. Okay? So let's have a look at pranayama. And basically what it's doing is we are breathing in not only oxygen and air, but vital energy or intelligence. And we're sending consciousness throughout the entire body. If we're doing upper chest fast breathing, it does not have the same effect. So we want to go into a couple of the techniques that will help you to understand the breath and how to use it correctly. And yeah, the first one would be just to come lying down onto your back, and you're going to introduce to yourself the actual, real, natural breathing process. So just bring your awareness into the breath flowing in and out of your nostrils, and just watch it for a few moments. Feel the inward breath and the outward breath just in the nostrils. Be aware of it, feel the difference between the inward breath and the outward breath. And now take your awareness through it moving through your nostrils towards the back of your mouth, just before the throat, and feel that movement in and out. And now bring it into your throat and feel the movements in and out without extending it, just natural breathing, feeling the movement in the throat. And now feel your chest expanding upwards, not just at the top, the whole chest, lifting all the way up and opening out. And feel the breath moving from the nostrils into that area. And now gently bring your awareness into your rib cage and feel Your rib cage expanding out and upward on the inward breath and in and downward on the outward breath. And just be with this process for a while. Feeling it moving through the rib cage, expanding and contracting with each and every breath. And now bring your awareness into your belly. Feel your navel rising and falling with each and every breath. And that is the process. Take it right from the nostrils, all the way down the throat, into the chest. Feel the rib cage expanding and contracting, the navel rising and falling. And that will bring us into our next breath. Just before I go into that, I want to quickly go through getting ready for this practice. Okay, and the first thing is that breathing is always done through the nostrils. I know that a lot of people are teaching breathe in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Whatever you're comfortable, whatever works for you. My teacher taught me that our noses were given to us to breathe, our mouth was given to us to eat. And she said that there is a process happening where the inward and outward breath is going past the little gland over here, and that little gland, as it goes past inward and outward, is being stimulated. It gives off a chemical, and that chemical takes you into the altered state of awareness. So whatever you're more comfortable with, when I'm saying breathe in and out through the nostrils, if you prefer through an open mouth, you're welcome to, okay? And then what we can do is we can focus on the sound of the breath for one-pointed awareness, bringing our awareness to one space, silencing the mind, controlling it of what we want it to do right now, teaching it that we are taking control and instructing it now, because what we think, feel, and say is what we create. So we want to be the driver. And like a child, you've got to keep teaching it slowly over and over. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the focus on the sound of the breath. I love that because it sounds like the ocean. Or what you can do is keep the focus on the contraction and expansion of the nostrils with each and every breath. Whatever makes you more comfortable, it's your journey. And then you can assume a beautiful, easy position to sit in. Easy posture, semi-lotus posture, lotus. In the beginning, it might be easier just to sit in the base position, okay? And the breath is generally done after asana, as I said, to calm the mind and emotions before we go into the actual practice of meditation. There are side effects that may happen, and that is itching, tingling, hot or cold sensations, headaches, flu symptoms are all common side effects when you first start these exercises. This is due to the body engaging and purifying, which creates detoxing. And that's the way that it comes out in the body, is by those things. I have a lot of people start class, and the first class they say to me, I had such a headache on the way home. And I say, it could happen once or twice, but it disappears after that, and it's fine. And that's exactly how it works out. The next thing is a caution is that breath exercises should not be practiced while ill. This is specifically if you are having respiratory disorders. Consult your yoga teacher or your doctor. The reason for that is because the breath is already very, very sensitive if we have respiratory disorders. So we refrain from doing it in that time. It should be practiced, the exercise series that we've got into is the natural breathing. Okay, and so now we're going to move on to the next exercise series, and this is called yogic breath. Basically what you do is, I always let my students lie down for this one so they can actually feel it. You can do it sitting afterwards, okay? But if you lie down onto your back and just place your right hand over your belly and your left hand over your chest. And I want you to extend your breath to deep breaths in and out. And I want you to bring your awareness to your navel. As you breathe in, feel it rising, and let it rise as high as it can, and fill your whole belly with beautiful vital energy, oxygen and air. And as you breathe out, feel your hand moving down towards your spine. And just take a couple of these deep breaths in and out. Navel rising on the inward breath, and navel falling on the outward breath. And just bring your awareness into your left hand and make sure your left hand is still. We are doing abdominal breathing, so it's only the abdomen that's moving. Breathing in, navel rising. Breathing out, navel falling. And then the next exercise we can do is take our hands to our rib cage, and we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe in, we're going to feel the rib cage expanding outward and upward like angel's wings opening, and as we breathe out, we're going to feel them contracting and going downward on each outward breath. So breathing in, feel the rib cage expanding outward and upward. And on the outward breath, feel it contracting inward and downward. Continue with that as I continue to talk to you. A lot of people say to me, Jen, I don't feel my rib cage moving. And that is quite normal because we have not been breathing naturally, correctly, the way we were designed to breathe. And I say to them, just close your eyes and just imagine where your hands are. Just move them out and in, upwards and in and downward. And just imagine that your rib cage is expanding and contracting. Remember, you tell your mind what to do. If you're imagining it and feeling it, it gets it. And I'm not joking, within a day or two, they come and say, my rib cage is moving, okay? So just keeping your awareness in that space, inhaling, rib cage expanding and moving upwards like angel wings opening, and exhaling, feel them going, contracting and downward. And now rest your right hand on the floor and just bring your left hand to your chest. And we're going to go into chest breathing. And what you're going to do is breathe in and feel your complete chest rising, not just the upper chest. Fill your whole chest up completely. And as you exhale, feel it lowering down. And just do a couple of these deep breaths for a while, feeling it. Feel your whole chest being filled with vital energy, with oxygen, with air. And breathing out. And just being here, holding your awareness on the movement, on the space that's filling, and the space that's being released from. And the next exercise that we go into is called yogic breath, complete breath. The first one was abdominal breathing, just to teach us how to use that part. Rib cage breathing and chest breathing. And yogic breath is a combination of all three done together. So on one smooth inhalation, you will feel your navel rising all the way up. And you'll actually feel when it's pretty full, it'll just roll over into the next area, which is your rib cage, and you'll feel your rib cage expanding. Okay? And as that fills up, you'll feel it rolling over into your chest and coming up. All right? So again, on one smooth inhalation, we breathe in, navel rises, rib cage expands, chest rises. And on the exhalation, we just reverse the process. Okay? Chest going down, rib cage in, belly down to the ground. And just follow with that, feeling it. Smooth inhalation, all three actions together. Navel rises, rib cage expands, chest rises. Exhale and reverse the process. And taking a couple of those deep breaths in and out. And once you're used to this breath, you can practice it for 10 minutes every single day. And just to set you up, you can start off with 3 minutes, move up to 5 minutes, 7 minutes and 10 minutes, because a lot of people find it very difficult to sit still in silence. And on my retreats, I often have students coming to me in the second week and they say, wow, Jen, I've just fallen in love with the breath. It is so amazing. just that feeling, and I can feel my mind and emotions coming into calmness, and suddenly I just go off into like a blissful state. So cozy. And in the beginning, I was sitting there and I was thinking, when is this going to end? Has she fallen asleep? What's going on? And I used to get all agitated, but now I'm actually getting into that breath. And while you continue with that breath, breathing in, navel rising, ribcage expanding, chest rising, and on the outward breath, reversing the process. Just bring your awareness into your mind and just feel your mind and emotions. How are you feeling? A little bit calmer? Emotions still? And here is your answer. Anytime you need it, come back to the breath. It will always support you. The next breath that I'm going to share with you is called Shitali breath. In English, it translates to cooling breath, and it's not just to cool the physical body after asana, but also to cool the mind and emotions from agitation. When I first started yoga, my teacher taught me alternate nostril breathing for anxiety and depression, and she also taught me this. So I stayed with alternate for a very long time, but I found that in the day, if I got agitated and I went straight into cooling breath, I'd find a quiet little place and go into cooling breath for 5 to 10 minutes. It actually calmed my mind and emotions down and brought me to a more present state. And that was easier to go into my day and continue interacting with people. A lot of people say to me, Jen, I don't have time to do breathing. We have to make the time. While you're in that agitation and you're carrying that agitation, it's affecting your whole day, your whole energy, leaving you out of sync. If you take 5 to 10 minutes and do the breath, it will bring you back into calmness. Basically what this breath does is it calms the mind and emotions, cools down the body. It's very good to drop a fever if you're experiencing a fever. Remember, the breath, don't ever put your breath or your body through stress. Do it for as long as comfortable, and with time, it's going to increase. With this specific breath, it is not supposed to be practiced by people with high blood pressure. That's very important. So if you're suffering with high blood pressure, you stay with the breath work that I've taught you already, which is yogic, and I will go into the other breath works that you can do later in the series. It will help to bring that down. I just want to check if there was anything else on that one. It cools the body and mind. It reduces mental and emotional agitation. It causes the muscles to relax and the mind to become tranquil. It also promotes control over hunger, which is a beautiful thing. I have tried that, it does work. And it's good exercise to practice if you're very hot. It'll also break a high fever and high blood pressure, and will work for any disease if practiced every day for 10 to 15 minutes. So there we have it. And the way that you practice it is you put your tongue outside your mouth and you roll up the sides into a U shape. So it looks like this. Now, some people can do this and some people can't. All good, it doesn't matter. People that can't do it, you would put your teeth together and breathe in through your teeth, suck in through your teeth. Another method that you can use is take the tip of your tongue and put it behind the front 2 teeth and draw the air in that way. Okay, so for all of those, choose your option. And what you would do is you'd put your tongue outside your mouth and inhale through the rolled up tongue for as long as you can. It looks like this. Once you've done a complete inhalation, you'll put your tongue back inside your mouth, close your mouth, and breathe out through the nostrils for as long as you can. The whole thing of breath extension is to extend our breath and to balance the inward and outward breath. We want the inhalation to be as long as the exhalation. Life is about balance, and the breath has to be the same to bring it to a calm space. Now, a lot of people, most of their inward breath is a lot shorter and their outwards a lot longer. We want to bring the breath to balance. Listen to your body. Don't put it through pressure or stress or strain, and listen to your breath, just comfortably as far as you can. And you would carry on repeating that for starting with 5 minutes and up to 10. And remember, as soon as you feel you've taken enough, immediately breathe out. So just practicing that for a few moments, breathing in through the rolled up tongue, just feeling that cool air coming into the mouth. And at the same time, what you can do is bring in yogic breath, feeling the belly rising, the rib cage expanding, the chest lifting up. And on the outward breath, reversing the yogic breath, okay? Putting the tongue in the mouth and breathing out through the nostrils. And you just keep repeating that over and over, taking a couple of those breaths right now. And remember, we're training the mind into silence, doing what we want it to do. So just feel that cool air coming in and the warm air exiting the nostrils. Hold your awareness on that sensation. Okay, and when you're ready to discontinue. So these are beautiful breaths, as I said, that you can work with. I'm going to be bringing some more in later on that you can be using. Again, if you've got low blood pressure, maybe to refrain for now. This is excellent for high blood pressure because it will help to bring the blood pressure down. And to use the yogic breath at the same time. Start off maybe with the first 2 or 3 minutes, just focusing on that breath until you're used to it, Shitali, and then you can bring in practicing it while doing the belly rising, rib cage expanding, chest going up, and so on. So enjoy it, practice these, be kind to your body, don't put it through stress, or your breath or your body through stress or pressure, let it grow naturally. Have a beautiful week.